While US-China relations have never been good during the Trump administration, they just got much, much worse. The Trump administration abruptly ordered the closure of the Chinese consulate in Houston following the US Justice Department's indictment of 2 Chinese hackers it says were working for Chinese intelligence. The US says the hackers were trying to steal defense secrets, trade secrets, and intellectual property, including work on a coronavirus vaccine. China responded, ordering the closure of the American consulate in Chengdu, China. Both consulates are now closed as the 2 countries continue to trade bars. What's really going on here? Have the 2 countries just entered a new Cold War? Or is this just saber-rattling during an election year? I'm Taha Arvas, and I'll give you my take in brief. The United States and China are the largest and second largest economies in the world, dwarfing all others. Since the US recognized the People's Republic of China in 1979, its economy has grown exponentially, with its current account surpluses increasing over 1,000 times in the last 40 years, from a couple $100 million to over $1 trillion. The Trump administration says this growth was made possible by US administrations hoping to induce change in China, beginning with Richard Nixon, but to no avail. Nixon said America had to engage with China with a stated goal of influencing events. But Trump says Washington was hoodwinked by Beijing, with Nixon himself later saying he had feared he created a Frankenstein by opening up the world to the Chinese Communist Party. As part of a concerted effort at increasing anti-China rhetoric, the Trump administration came out swinging following the Houston consulate's closure. Attorney General Barr accused China of hiding its ultimate ambition, which was not to trade with America, but to raid America. Secretary of State Pompeo accused China's military of being menacing, its leaders of subscribing to bankrupt ideologies, and its students and workers that come to the United States of not coming to make a little bit of money and garner knowledge, but to steal our intellectual property and to take this back to their country. Pompeo went on to say this theft cost 1 million jobs to America and accused China of being responsible for the spread of COVID-19. He went on to say that the Chinese telecom behemoth Huawei was a national security threat and that the now shuttered Chinese consulate in Houston was a hub of spying and intellectual property theft. He added that China was persecuting its minority Muslim Uyghur population and that it had designs on dominating space, which was the impetus for America's formation of its Space Force. Despite all of this anti-China talk now, the Trump administration hasn't always been so negative. Trump dismissed Hong Kong protests last year, is reported to have supported the building of concentration camps in Xinjiang, imprisoning minority Uyghurs, and as recently as February, publicly praised China's handling of the pandemic. Multiple trade deals will allow for an increase of trade between the 2 countries, albeit at less favorable conditions for China. Trump is simultaneously hot and cold on China and will most likely continue to attack Beijing throughout the presidential election. China, for its part, doesn't need to do much of anything. Either Trump wins in November and things go back to normal, or he loses and they get Joe Biden, whose administration would be dovish in comparison to Trump.